space which was meant for documentation and filming and showing people our resources. The little outer huts, one of them was a shrine. And we ran into problems because, you know, I said, well, as I told you earlier, the broom can be used as an offering, right? And I thought, let's have a shrine over there. Let's create. And then there was a problem. Supposing it becomes a shrine, this could happen. It could actually, through belief, that could become a shrine for one particular god as opposed to another. So we decided to make it, to use this wonderful object called the carver. The carver is a cupboard. It's a portable shrine. It's a tiny little thing like this, and it opens up with doors, with flaps. And inside you have the deity. So we decided no deity, the broom. So it became a shrine to the broom. Okay, so we did things like that. Okay, let's have the next image. So these are some of the brooms in the outer spaces. As you can see, they're very humble. They're just a collection of twigs, okay, tied up with either string or a ribbon or whatever. And what is most important to keep in mind is that you will never find these brooms in the market. You can never buy this broom. This broom has been made by the hand of a particular woman. She has taken different things that are available in her immediate environment to create this broom. It is her broom. So when she is giving her broom to the museum, it's a gift. It's a very precious gift. And there's a whole story that comes with that object. You cannot put a price on that. It's not 10 rupees, it's not 60 rupees. It's a person's life, okay? And you can see how extraordinary these images are. It's like social sculpture in some ways. Next image. So here again, we have these different kinds of brooms, all outer space brooms. Next. And these are the inner space brooms. Now, I feel very unhappy showing you these images because obviously, the moment you show an image of brooms like this, they become objects. They become objects like anything else that you could put I don't know, a vase or a pin cushion or whatever. But the principle of this museum was very interesting, and we don't have images to show this. This is a museum that believed and insisted that you touch the object. So people who came into this museum were encouraged to actually pick up the brooms, touch them, and use them, but also to put them back. So there was this logic that we were working in, it's sort of the museological logic. But I feel very unhappy when I see this kind of display because I feel the brooms are too obedient, they're too docile, and I don't think brooms are docile. Could we have the next image? This is more like the broom, where you see the animation. You see the life of that broom, and you see the labor that goes into making that broom. It's huge. It's a very, very dynamic kind of configuration of energies that you get to see. And I think this is what we needed to work on. Today, if I had an opportunity, I would like to reverse the clock a little bit, and with each broom that was given to the museum, I would have loved to have a recording of that woman telling her story of that broom. And it would have been very easy, low-cost technology, just to have some, some speakers or whatever attached to each broom and hear a voice with each broom. But that is where you need a lot of curatorial kind of preparation. And there are challenges. And the biggest challenge would be translation. Because the woman would be speaking to you in a dialect. She's not speaking in Hindi. She's not even speaking in Marwari. She's speaking in her dialect. So how do you translate that dialect? These are some of the curatorial challenges that we have to always think about. Language is a huge, huge issue when dealing with any kind of museum in the Indian context, but particularly at the grassroots level. Huge. I mean, to get just signage, to get the right wording, it's a big task. Could we have the next image? So for me, this is the real achievement of the museum. Remember I told you when there was that abandoned sandstone mine, and there was that khadda, that big pit. Today the pit has become a lake. And it is a living demonstration of water harvesting. All you need for this lake, and there's enough water in this lake for 1 year, enough water, and all you need for this water are 3 rainfalls. 2 or 3 rainfalls, that's all you need. It's not much. But of course, you have to find a way of harnessing that particular water. So this is, I think, if anything, the achievement of the museum, which will long live after everything has gone, maybe, because we're lucky. We're lucky that the adjoining area of the museum, there is forested land, and that is protected. So we're lucky that there's no mining over there, otherwise finished. So I'm happy to say that this water is not just used by local villagers, but by birds and by animals as well. Next image. So it's not a picnic spot. It's too rough to be a picnic spot. And that's why I return to this idea of land and how your museum has to, in a sense, work in some kind of a dialogue with the properties of land. And I think that what I would risk calling this museum is an eco-museum. We didn't set out to be an eco-museum, but it became an eco-museum. A museum that basically honors the ecology of everything that goes into the sustenance of this very rough landscape. It's an eco-museum, it's not a community museum. I've worked on community museums in South Africa and elsewhere. Community museums, the basic thing is that the museum has to be built by the community. They are the active agents of the museum. There's no community in Arna-Jharna. The only communities we have are the Bakrashala and the Goshala. Oldest Bakrashala and the oldest Goshala. And very, very few humans who are basically itinerant laborers who are working for the mines. So they come and go. So we cannot speak of a community museum, but we can certainly speak of an eco-museum. So that's, I think, what we achieve. So now having told you something about Arna-Jharna and the knowledge of the broom and the different dimensions of the broom, of course we know the broom, to whom does the broom belong? That's a big question. Does anybody own the broom? Is there a copyright on the broom? You know, these are big issues. But of course we know in recent years the broom has been appropriated politically. So the next series of images, I have very little to say. I think they speak for themselves. Next. So this is a rather nice image of an early happy moment of AAP, the Aam Aadmi Party, when it was, at its peak. And what we see here, I call it the jubilation of brooms. It's the broom as the victorious sign. And there's something nice about it. It's like a dance of the brooms. Next. And you get the same kind of broom as protest. And you know immediately, of course, that the broom is being used as a symbol because it's being used. Nobody brushes the sky as such. The broom always has a downward movement. It's never got an upward movement, unless there's something crazy. But it's been transformed into something else. Next. And here you get the mobility of the broom. It was very powerful signage. And I might add, this signage is no longer there with Aam Aadmi Party. The broom has gradually disappeared from their signage, and unfortunately, it's the leader who's there. So the leader has taken over from the broom, but this was a very powerful kind of image. I was in Delhi at that time, so everywhere you saw, the broom was in your face. Next image. And here you have this kind of bifurcation of leader, party, etc. Next. And here there's a film poster where the film hero, whoever he is, has been replaced by Kejriwal. And here we have the next image, please. And these are more kind of familiar images coming into our very own space, with the governor apparently symbolically cleaning what appear to be very clean tiled floors. I don't know what he's really cleaning out there. You know, it's very, very soft. Next one, and that. And of course, now we move into the real political appropriation of the broom. Next, please. This is it. This was, of course, the Swachh Bharat campaign inaugurated on Gandhiji's birthday in the Valmiki colony. And of course, it had to be done with a broom. Today, of course, we've moved beyond the broom, and Swachh Bharat has gone into big, big, big schemes. But yes, and then it caught on. Next, please. And we don't need any introduction for that. Next, please. And we have our Salman Khan. And next, please. And of course, she's very energetically, you know, doing her work. It's very housewifely. And next, please. And this is my favorite because you don't know what she's doing over there. Whether it's, you know, whether she's about to use it as a missile or what is it? It's a, you know, kind of a chakra or what, you know, golf or whatever. And it's very, very interesting image. Next, please. And this is a television company posing with it. That's the level of idiocy to which it can sink. And next, please. Next. Yes, and this is it. And you have two opposite leaders on either side. They're both, you know, holding onto a broom. But the real question is, there's only one question that not one of them knows how to use the broom. That's the problem. They don't really know what the broom is. So hopefully, as we get inundated with all these images, something of the knowledge that went of Komal Kothari into the broom, hopefully some of that will be communicated and make us think that if you take a broom seriously, you can open the world. Thank you.
এখানে তো ডেজার্ট এরিয়াতে যে ঝাড়ুগুলো ব্যবহার করছে দেখানো হলো, সেখানে কোকোনাট আর্টের কথাটা বলা হয়নি, শুধু একটুখানি কেরালার কথা মেনশন করা হচ্ছে। কিন্তু আমাদের সারা পশ্চিমবঙ্গে কে বলে নারকল ঝাড়ু, এবং সেটা বঙ্কিমচন্দ্র চট্টোপাধ্যায়ের লেখার মধ্যে যে বাঙালি মহিলাদের শক্তির উৎস, যে
women's empowerment. Broom is related to women's empowerment also.
Yes.
Yes. Powerful instrument.
Powerful instrument. Very powerful.
এই কথাটা তো মেনশন করলেন না। হ্যাঁ, সেটা আমার খালি হাসি পাচ্ছে যে আমরা ছোটবেলা থেকে এইটা পড়ে এসেছি এবং জানি যে বাঙালিদের ঝাড়ু মানে নারকল ঝাড়ু, যেটাকে কাঠি ঝাড়ু বলে থাকি। এবং এরা দেখতাম যে আমরা ছোটবেলায় এতে ঝাড়গ্রাম ওই এরিয়াতে কেটেছি, মানে আমার ছোটবেলা। সেখানে আমাদের বাড়ির কাজের লোকেরা ওই দেয়ালের মানে মেঝের ফাটার মধ্যে একটা কাঠিকে এরকম ভার্টিক্যালি রাখতো, রেখে বাদ বাকি কাঠিগুলোকে সিস্টেমেটিক্যালি সাজিয়ে সাজিয়ে ইয়ে করতো, করে ঝাড়ুটা বানাতো, বানিয়ে করতো। সে শুনেছিলাম যে গান্ধীজির বুনিয়াদি স্কুল থেকে পাশ করা ইয়ে ছিল, সেই 1943-এর বন্যার সময় তার বাবা মা কোথায় হারিয়ে গিয়েছিল জানি না, আমাদের বাড়িতে কাজ করতো। কিন্তু তার সেই কাজটা মানে হাতের কাজটা আমার এখনো মনে আছে। আচ্ছা, যে আপনারা এত জায়গা খুঁজে এ করলেন কিন্তু এই জিনিসটার রেফারেন্সটা তো পেলাম না। আর আমি
আপনি যেটা বলেছেন সেটা ঠিকই, কিন্তু ওনার টকের বিষয়টা ছিল আজকে আর্না-ঝারনা রাজস্থান। আজকে ওটা আপনি যেটা বললেন সেটা অন্য বিষয়।
না, but this is beautiful because everywhere in India you will go, there is a claim on the jharu, Amade jharu. You know, we know our jharu, we know our jharu history. It's a very intimate history, and the woman's relationship with the broom is very strong, very, very strong. Apni ki bolchen, it's absolutely very
আমাদের
powerful.
রথযাত্রা উৎসবে রাজা তো সোনার ঝাড়ু দিয়ে আগে রাস্তা ঝাড়ু দিতে শুরু করেন,
নিশ্চয়।
তারপরে তো রথ
রথ চলতে পারে।
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
That's very
Absolutely
important.
correct.
There is, I mean, everywhere you go in India, jharu is a staple of life. And we know that, yeah, jharu te onek kichu problem ache and there's a lot of difficulty. But no one I met in my research was ever said, oh, jharu. They always spoke of jharu with pride. A lot of pride in the jharu. And they are very clear they can defeat any multinational corporation or global corporation. They are very clear. They said our jharu will last longer than any of them. We all know plastic jharu esheche bajare, but it's of no use. It's absolutely baje because there's no relationship between plastic and dust.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Plastic will only work for rich homes in the toilet where you can, clean the water on the mosaic floor. That's good. But not for dust.
And pull out the accumulated hair from the drain.
Yeah.
You see, that is done well
Yeah.
with plastic.
Yeah. It's people, even abroad, when I've talked about this, they're using vacuum cleaners, etc., etc. But they're very proud of their brooms. People have a very intimate relationship with the jharu, which they call other things. It's something like a personal connection, Many applications.
Yes. Yeah. Bolun.
How do you manage your day-to-day cost of the museum? Because this is the main problem, survival problem.
Yes. See, very difficult. You know that the cost factor, this museum, because we are not dealing with sculpture or painting or whatever, we are dealing with the jharu. So investment in the museum was minimal, 25,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees, whatever, But the structure of the museum needs maintenance. Yeta shopshe ashul. And that is a problem because unless you find somebody who is ready to pay for the mud renovation, because mud structures have to be renovated every 6 or 7. The thatch has to be renovated, has to be. And that's very organic because you're also providing, you're involving local labor. They have those skills, thatching of an excellent quality, but you need somebody to pay for their salaries and all that. So I am not connected with the museum now. I was there for the first 3 years. I think it's basically very local donations, very minimal fees coming from school children going, to the museum site, some grants, but there's very little money.
Yeah, but it's also a little off, is
It's
it?
off.
It's not within the route of the tourist generally.
This is plus point, negative point. It's two things. That we are not getting as many people as we want because it is a little bit of it's off the beaten track. That's what makes it special. I mean, I wouldn't be able to have that beautiful lake without that off the beaten track quality. But we miss the fact that it's not, you can't have hundreds of people coming over. It's not there.
It's not like the Victoria Memorial,
No,
where
it's not.
every day thousands of people come. হ্যাঁ এখানে একজন চাইছেন, এখানে দিন। আসি, আই এম কামিং টু ইউ।
वो सब मैं कोमलदा, बीजी, विजय वर्मा, ये सबसे मेरे करीबी रिश्ते हैं। मैं कलकत्ता में राजस्थानी प्रचारणी सभा का प्रेसिडेंट हूँ।
अच्छा।
और राजस्थान की चीज़ें तो मुझे ये बहुत खुशी हुई। लेकिन जब आपने कहा कि आप शायद वहाँ नहीं रहते हैं आजकल, और ये केवल एक झाड़ू का म्यूजियम हो गया। मुसीबत ये हो सकती है कि गवर्नमेंट का कोई कॉपरेशन नहीं होगा, तो क्या इस तरह का अन्य चीज़ों का जैसे देवीलाल सामन ने भारतीय लोक कला मंडल में म्यूजियम बनाया था, फोक म्यूजिक और सबका। तो इस तरह की कोई योजना आपके सोच में है, या कोई कॉपरेशन आप कलकत्ता में रहने वाले राजस्थानी समाज से एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? मैं आपसे मिल लूँगा, बात करूँगा। हम खुद चाहते हैं कि कलकत्ता में एक हेरिटेज विरासत भवन, राजस्थानी इतने यहाँ है, इतना बड़ा काम करते हैं, लेकिन राजस्थान की विरासत का यहाँ कोई भी जगह नहीं। हम चाहते हैं कि इस तरह का काम हो। आपसे मैं मिल करके गाइडेंस दूंगा। मुझे अच्छा लगा आप यहाँ आए।
थैंक यू। ये समाज के लिए, आई थिंक दैट टू whom does a museum belong? That is my question. Who owns the museum? And I think people own the museum. People have to own the museum. And that means we have to educate our public, that you are stakeholders in this museum. If we just wait for grants from the government, it's not going to come. Although the land did come from the government, I might add, ye zameen jo hai, it came from the government at a very, very subsidized price. But we had to put a lot of work into that. It's a huge amount of work. Just clearing the land, and we've kept it more or less as it is. We want to keep it like that. Lekin it's very, very difficult. I feel dukh ki baat hai je rich people of Rajasthan who have so much money within the family as well, they will not give 1 rupee. They will expect other people to provide the money. And that I find very, very sad. It's a lack of generosity. You think of those brooms. A woman has gifted a broom to your museum. I mean, what a gift that is, She's given her life to you, Take it. No? And you are not ready to just provide it with just basic, maintenance. This is very, very sad for me. Very, very sad. What to do? It's an ongoing fight. The fact that we could do it now, I should add, the museum is not about brooms. The musical instruments are there as well. Kolkata was, of course, known for music. He had a fantastic collection. But it's very important, and I go back to that. He was clear. The museum's first object will be the broom, not the musical instrument. He realized the importance of the broom. And he was right. It's really something to think about.
Probably the Rajasthanis in Kolkata are more generous than the Rajasthanis in Rajasthan.
Hopefully.
That gentleman.
Hopefully.
Tomorrow, the 18th May,
the
International Museum Day will be observed. Who in the whole world, and the body, the International Forum, International Council of, there is a International Forum, the International Council of Museums, its headquarters is at Paris.
Yes.
And this forum acts to support, they encourage formation, maintenance of museums. If any museum suffers from backup and monetary problem, there should be proper approach to that organization that help.
Yes.
That because formation of this organization to sustain such organization museum, so that they must help so that any museum can survive and is not destroyed. And another thing, there is a, I can remember now, the person, very important person, he was in the Indian Navy. He was as a huge collection, is a part of it.